Well, part 3 is almost here. I was gonna make this video a few weeks ago, probably like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, but as you can see, it's the 6th now. I'm super lazy. I apologize, but it's probably better this way because they gave us a teaser as to what the potential saga is gonna be for part 3, which I think is a good idea to make an updated prediction, if you will, because my initial predictions are all wrong. They're dead wrong. They're completely wrong, right? Now, I guess before moving into the prediction of what it's gonna be, who it's gonna be, I just want to say that the prior 2 years of summonable ultras being a thing. I mean, even if we look at year 4, right, like this year right here. Technically, this is like a year 3 character, so we're not gonna count him. But this is four characters for summonable, one character, if you will. If you want to jump this together, this is 5 characters. But when we're looking at, I guess, the first two, I guess the 2 years prior, there we go. The 2 years prior to year 7, where we take a look at year 5 and year 6, like, this is all 1 year and this is 6 ultras, and then this is all 1 year and this is also 6 ultras. So you take a look at that schedule release and you look at this year and it's like, oh, we're only at 1. We're 1 out of 6. Yeah, there's probably gonna be a double ultra like release here, because I mean the timing it just makes sense, man. Either we get 5 ultras this year and then it was replaced by Daima, or we get 5 ultras this year and it was replaced by the ground battle system just taking a lot of initiative away from them wanting to implement another ultra, or they were saving the ultra for double ultra release part 3 just to make sure that the hype is off the charts type shit. Now, part 3 has been soft confirmed to be Namek with this guy Zenkai. Last year when they gave us Super Saiyan 3 Goku Zenkai, it was kind of like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be GT, and then voila, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So this year, I mean, if we're going to look at Frieza Saga, which there's not many moneymaker options here. I'm not calling it hype, I'm calling it moneymakers because that's what it's going to be. That's what they're looking for. It's a business, alright? We're looking at Namek, Super Saiyan Goku, and Full Power Frieza. So that's probably my guess. Again, we are down in Ultra, so I assume double Ultra Celebration is most likely what's going to happen here. If not, then we'll probably just see like a singular Legends Limited Ultra with this guy out here. There's no way they're going to let Frieza solo carry part 3. That's not even the realm of possibility as to like what they want to hit with a quota. Like if you're going to reach a quota of like, I don't know, $6 million or $10 million, right? For like the first 2 weeks of June. Who are you releasing from Namek Saga to reach that 10 million goal? You're releasing this guy. So this guy is probably gonna get a redo. This version of Goku, because I don't think it matters. If we're gonna move into Frieza Saga, they're gonna have to do this guy. If they're gonna do double ultras, and this guy's a part of the conversation again. But other than that, there's no other options, right? No, this isn't really more like a prediction, but it's more of just like how I guess these characters are gonna interact with the new ground battle characters, which is why I have this guy pulled up here. This Kaioken Goku, this is Kaioken, let me just pull him up real quick. Yeah, Kaioken Goku up here. He has a card mechanic that is tied to you being specifically on the ground, where if you're on the ground section of the battle and you use the strike card, you gain 50% extra strike damage. I don't know if they're gonna move into, specific mechanics being tied to specific areas of the battle. Whereas, like, let's say, for example, you're in the air and then you use a blue card as Ultra Namek Frieza, right? And then if you're in the air, you'll do like a supernova, but if you're on the ground, you do peaches. Like, that's kind of what I'm envisioning that these characters, I want them to do. And I don't know if they want to go that far, but I do think that these characters will probably have some kind of like cards, maybe not even their like kits, just in their cards, right? Where specifically you're on a specific part of the ground. Like, let's say, for example, you're on the ground and this card gains armor break, or if you're in the air, specifically on the blue card, like you gain blast armor or no blast nullification instead of blast armor, right? Like maybe we'll see something like that to that degree. But if they do that route, that'll be pretty boring. I did just mention the idea of like separate blue card animations when you're in a specific area, like with this Frieza, for example. And that's kind of how I want these guys to kind of come out in the meta. I want them to be characters who are super interactive, not only as just like a character interaction. It's like, okay, let's say for example, Namek Goku, Namek Frieza just have like a specific clash animation. That's cool and all, but how about more specifically like how these characters are tied when they're on a specific part of the battleground? because there is a lot of throwing each other into mountains, like standing on rocks, and like there's a lot of like, I guess, scenery and environment that these two fight in their battle on Namek. And I think, especially with ground battles being a thing, like, it would be a waste if you just didn't implement that here. It just would be. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I definitely think that, like, with this RAM update and like them giving us like updated animations, it's like they could do that. Now I do know that a lot of people are struggling with the green tournament of power stage. I guess like when the tournament of power arena is still kind of intact, like a lot of people are still struggling with that. So if they were to release like these animations where it's like there's a lot of like little minor particles and like a lot of like asset things, like a lot of people are gonna lag when they see these animations, even with like an iPhone 15, which is kind of just insane to me how that's kind of insane. It's that shouldn't be happening. I do fortunately have an iPhone 16 Pro, and I haven't experienced any lag issues with there, so I can't really say from experience, but I've heard about it a lot, and I think that's probably an issue that should be fixed. But hopefully, these animations that we come out for part 3 aren't gonna follow the same, I guess, lag that that stage has. That's kind of what I hope too. They should definitely fix that. Probably just by reducing the amount of like load the ground area of the tournament of power arena causes on the phone, just because I mean, like, tournament of power, there's a lot of colors, there's a lot of like high res assets, I'm assuming, so if they just dumb it down by a little bit, probably wouldn't be much of a problem. But yeah, I don't know, let me know what you guys think about I mean, we're probably seeing LF, like, Namek Goku, right? There's no way we're not doing anything else. Like, like, Ultra Kaioken Goku, stop it. Come on. No. We just got LF Kaioken Goku, stop it. I did stop and think about it. It's like, no, stop it. Part 3 of 7th anniversary, like, they need to make money. You're gonna release the characters that make the money. There's no way they don't do that.